Hey guys, so today we are going to do a little fall October activity. Since it is October, we're going to do a little kind of spooky little scene here. And all you're going to need is some black paper and a crayon. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to this side of the paper to make some shallow, like a shallow tree trunk, just like that. And I want to go ahead and give it its roof, which is just going to be like a triangle, and give it a chimney stack. So the next thing I want to do is I want to give my roof a few of these little scallopy looking things, so that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 posts right there. From there, I'm also going to go to the side of my house and give it another slant. I'm going to swoop out a little bit and bring it down. So I have like a little shed here. My shed needs a door with a doorknob. Don't forget the doorknob. And then my house also needs a door. Make that one a little taller and square it off. I'm going to give it a window and I'm going to give it a doorknob. Now, most houses also have what? We have windows. So I'm going to do more little archway windows. And look at that. It looks like a little house. It almost looks like a little puppy because of the circle window right there. But now I want to add a step, because my door is a little high above my walls. So I'm going to give it 2 little slanty lines, just like that. I'm going to connect those slanty lines, and I'm going to draw little lines going down from each corner, and I'm going to connect those as well. I'm going to give this side a little bit of a bush, because why not? And this side's going to get a pumpkin. So I'm going to make a big circle, just like that. And I'm going to add a pumpkin stem, just like that. Now, this little roof also needs some little swoopies. And I'm going to give my house some bricks. Now, I don't want to make a whole bunch of bricks. I'm just going to make a few that are just kind of out there. Some of them can be stacked on each other if you want to, that's fine. But you don't need to do too many, just enough so that they're just kind of sticking out there. And I'm gonna give some bricks to my little shack over here. Just like that, just a few. And don't forget your chimney. And of course, our chimney needs some smoke coming out of it, so people know that someone's home. I also want to give my windows some little flowy curtains, just like that. And I'm gonna put a little tree over here. In my tree, I'm just gonna start at the bottom, and I'm gonna do kind of a little wavy line up and a little crooked line that way. Give it a few more crooked little branches and do it again. Put it in a different direction. Doesn't have to be too substantial of a tree. Just enough so that we know it's a fall tree, because most fall trees don't have their leaves anymore. Just like that. Now, what I want to do is on this side of my house, I'm going to add a little fence, and I'm going to make a little slanted line. Then I'm going to come to the side and make another straight line to the side, and I'm going to add some long posts that are my fence posts. And that way it kind of looks a little broken, and that's fine. I'm going to add another little bush right here just to give it a little bit more stuff on that side of the house. Now, I'm gonna add a window up here in my attic. Just another little archway. You can give it a little windowsill just like that, just a little rectangle. And I'm also gonna give that one some curtains. All right, so my roof has these little pointy little pieces right here. So on the two that are on this side, I'm going to slant them to the left. Then I'm going to come over to these two and I'm going to slant them to the right. So it looks like it's attached to the house. Otherwise, it looks a little bit wonky. And I'm also going to come over and I'm going to add my little slanty things going to the left so that that's attached to the house also. Okay, so over here, we're going to add a little cornfield. And I'm gonna start with my scarecrow. Now my scarecrow needs a farmer's hat. And as we know, farmer's hats are nice and tall, but they're also a little bit tattered. So if your hat is not perfect, that's okay. Color in the top of his hat. And then we're gonna add a circle down at the bottom for his face. You can make that look a little sketchy also because he's been sitting outside, so chances are he's pretty beat up. The wind's been blowing, he's been rained on, so everything looks a little rough. We want to give him a shirt, so give him some arms and then give him a body, and that's it. So all he needs now is a post for him to stand on and some grass. Just like that. So we need our corn stalks. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a straight line down. And I'm gonna draw like a leaf at the top, a leaf and leaves kind of looking like to the side because they're kind of hanging off there. And all of the tops of our little corn husks need like a little triangle because this part is the corn husk and this part is the corn kind of sticking out. And we're going to draw a few of them, and if they overlap a little bit, that's okay. Just like that. Don't forget to add one to the top. I'm going to put one behind him a little bit. Now I didn't draw straight through his arm because it's behind him. I'm going to add another one right there. I'm going to add some over here. There we go. Add some a little bit longer pieces. Okay, so there's our little farm area. You can go ahead and add a little pathway to your doorstep if you want. A little one right here too. I'm going to kind of make it go both ways so that it leads to the house, but then it also leads somewhere else. So we have our little scary farmhouse. We have our cornfield with our scarecrow. And now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sit a bat right on top of my roof. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna color a small circle right here. And then I'm gonna give it a really tiny circle on top for like his little head. And I know this bat's a little big. Don't forget its ears, kind of like a cat. I know it's a little big, but it's Halloween and it's supposed to be scary. Now I'm going to go right between my head and my body, and I am going to give it a bat wing. So So it's like a little angle, just kind of like that. And color it in. Then right here in the middle of the bottom part, I'm going to add another little point. So there's my bat sitting on the roof. Now, I want to add a bat flying. So this part, what you want to do is I'm going to draw a U, and it's going to be kind of slanted. And it doesn't need to be too big because he's up in the sky. So from my U, these 2 points are going to be his ears. And I'm going to go from his ears and I'm going to swoop down just a little bit to make an arm. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. And these would be his hands at the top. So we're going to add to his wing, and I'm going to do a little curvy line going downwards. And then I'm going to make one part of the M, and my second part of my M is going to go a lot farther down. And I'm going to do that over here also. And I'm going to connect my M together. So we have 2 M's, and the inside of the M's are going to make a point to make his tail. So we have a little nightscape here, and it's really dark, but we're able to see all this stuff with the white lines because there's moonlight showing. So the moonlight is white because our moons are white. Well, sometimes they're yellow, and sometimes they're orange, and sometimes they're red. So I want to add a moon so that I can give my farm some light. And I'm going to color my moon in white since that's the color we're using, and leave my bat uncolored because bats are black, especially at night. They're really dark, and it's kind of just sitting in front of my moon. Just color that in. And there you have it. There is your little farmscape. You can add other trees back here if you want. Just some little bare ones. Make it a little spookier if you want to. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed your activity today. It was a lot of drawing, but pretty simple, perfect for the season. I'm kind of hoping for some cooler weather. I'm ready for it to cool down and not be so hot outside. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye.